Subnautica is an underwater survival and exploring game where you are stranded at a remote ocean planet after your ship crashed into it. Despite its official titles, Subnautica is most well known for basically being a horror game. The quality terror this game provides is well documented, as it forgoes the use of jump scares and other cheap tricks used to install instant reactions, instead opting for atmospheric and subtle design decisions, such as sound effects and lighting, to bring immersive, memorable, and horrifying experiences to its players. I, for one, was afraid at all points in my first playthrough despite never actually engaging with anything dangerous. Regardless, I was always on the edge of my seat, just imagining the creatures that were out there, hidden in the deep ocean, ready to attack. Today, however, I'll raise up to the challenges of this game. I'll brave through the rough and dangerous waters of this planet and prove myself a hero of this ocean. Specifically, I'll kill one of every aggressive species of Leviathan and build a base on the 5 most dangerous biomes this planet could muster. By the way, this video contains lots of spoilers, you have been warned. Without further ado, let the challenge begin. Like in all playthroughs, I wake up in the life pod, a temporary survival base after the Aurora, the ship I was boarding, had crashed into this godforsaken ocean planet. I get out of there, take a look at the Aurora, and dive into the safe shallows, the starting area of the game. It's not really scary at all, and there are no predators to surprise you. Not scary doesn't mean not dangerous though, as there is still danger hidden in those shallow waters. Case in point, I had an unfortunate incident in the biome. To give you context, I'm in a cave system from the safe shallows and I get lost for a while in it, until I find an exit, which I had to. But then one of those annoying crash fishes sneaks behind me and explodes. Ow, that doesn't kill me though, and I come back to its nest to collect the sulfur. I pick it up, and when I turn back, all light is gone, including the bioluminescence from the acid shrooms. Somehow, in the few seconds I turned away from the exit, the place got so dark I couldn't even see the walls of the cave. Shortly after, I drown in the safe shallows, which is deeply embarrassing. When I come back home, unwillingly, I get a message from LifePod 3 asking for help. I go there immediately, which leads me to the kelp forest. The kelp forest is a significant step up in danger from the safe shallows, having massive vines that extend almost to the surface, creating this crowded and dim environment, making it hard to see everything around. But it's not like anything is out there to kill you, right? Of course there is. Those are the first real predators you're likely to encounter, the stalkers. Shark-like creatures that sneak up on you using the kelp as cover to deliver their deadly bites. I follow to LifePod 3 just to find that my fellow humans weren't as lucky as me, killed by the terrific stalkers. How brutal. But hey, at least I got the compass, vehicle bay, and sea glide recipes on my way there. On my way back, I saw a group of reefbacks, peaceful leviathans that swim around the ocean in groups, carrying rich environments on their backs. So I took a break from exploring to go swim with them. Although I'm not sure if they have actual brains, I like to imagine they also found our time really nice. Their barnacles in their backs were really useful too, and I found silver and a lot of copper in them. This one even let me ride his bag. Kind of. I come back home and craft the Sea Glide, also getting a radio call from Ozzy, who's at LifePod 17. Nice to know the guy survived. He seemed concerned though, mentioning a trench and some eel creatures. I headed there immediately, entering the grassy plateau. A wide and open area covered in beautiful red grass. Differently from the kelp forest, I find this area really safe and peaceful and much less threatening. Unfortunately, I was too late again. Ironically, the chef became a tasty, nutritious meal for whatever abominations were down on that trench. I was in a good area though, as I discovered the blueprints for the Seamoth, bioreactor, scanner room, and laser cutter, also scanning the top predator for this area, the borderline insane sand shark, and getting tons of materials before coming back home. Rich and famous. Well, not exactly famous, but still. I then received another radio call, though sure common these days. This time from the first in command, Officer King, claiming he found dry land. Hopefully that dry land is more peaceful than the ocean in this planet. I then craft the rebreather, mobile vehicle bay, and most importantly by far the sea moth. This baby is a marker of progress since now I don't have to swim to the surface to recover oxygen, allowing me to go much deeper. On top of that, I get to enjoy a much faster, much more convenient mode of transportation. With the sea moth, I prepare to head to the coordinates attached to King's message, which is deep down since his actual coordinates got corrupted. On my way to the signal, I come across the sparse reef, the first truly creepy biome I come across. The murky and dark waters on top of the barren and empty land makes for an unsettling atmosphere. But, contrary to its appearance, the sparse reef is possibly the safest biome in the entire game since there are no predators there. I approach the sea moth max depth limit and swim my way around the area, notably collecting some blueprints such as the thermoreactor and power cell charger. I also enter a rift, collecting tons of rubies and gel sacks and finding the sunken life pod. Also finding the last words of the captain, who is frankly the most selfless person of this entire game, and also the coordinates of the dry land, but who cares. After the little adventure, I head to the place where I'll eventually build my first base, the submerged islands. This dark and visually impressive biome doesn't have any leviathans in it, and you might underestimate how dangerous it is because of that. But you would be incorrect. Because this place is covered, and I mean covered, with bone sharks, armored relatives of the sand sharks that attack whatever comes close. While I explore a wreck, they relentlessly attack me, and I swear they can teleport or something because they were everywhere. Here are some of the many times those boneheads scared me, including this one that is inside the wreck, behind two sealed doors. I still survived though, and get some materials and blueprints while there. After coming back home, I craft the radiation suit and head to the dry land. The journey there is fairly uneventful and wow, this land is so peaceful, much more than the ocean for sure. No wonder it was the meeting point. Unfortunately though, no humans were there as King departed to find survivors, being intercepted and seemingly killed by a leviathan. His PDA wasn't the only human trace on the island, however, as there were 3 abandoned bases scattered across it. The first one I visited was at the top of a peak, and that's where I found the blueprint for the glass observatory and grow bed. But more importantly, a report of someone called Bard, saying they shouldn't have gone so deep, mentioning some kind of disease taking over him and his fellow crew members, Margaret and his dad, Paul. I head to the second base at the foot of the mountain, where I scan the massively important multifunction room, get some marble seats and pick up this strange purple tablet. The PDA I find in this place seems to be from the past, since Margaret and Paul are alive. They stayed here for a while, but they couldn't settle in permanently. A storm devastated the base, which made them move somewhere deeper. On the second observatory, we hear an argument between Paul and Margaret. It seems those two don't get along very well, and even without the storm, the island isn't as fruitful as it looks like, since it can't produce enough food for the 3 survivors, who I also discovered crashed here about a decade ago on a ship called Degassi. It's sure strange that both Degassi and Aurora crashed on the exact same planet, huh? After that island expedition, I come back home and got the radio call from the rescue ship Sunbeam, which was about to land in 40 minutes. Thank my lucky stars, I'm coming back home, baby! I collect some magnetite and craft the stasis rifle before going towards the landing site of the Sunbeam, the mountain island. Upon reaching the place, I find a massive, strange structure. Who knows what secret it hides? Oh, a cave! Before checking the building, I go into the nearby tunnels, filling my inventory with lithium, diamonds and gold. I then go into the building by inserting a purple tablet, similar to the one from the other island that I found in the ground? I guess whoever built this didn't quite understand the keys aren't supposed to be unguarded and readily available outside the building at trench lock. I go into the strange structure and learn a lot about the advanced alien species who built this place. This is just one of many buildings have throughout this planet, although its purpose is unknown even for the PDA. I found many things in there, such as these super batteries called ion cubes that are everywhere for me to pillage. I'll take that. A powerful rifle that is unfortunately locked inside an indestructible case. Believe me, I tried to break it. Their energy comes from a thermal power plant somewhere deep in this planet. Nice, the aliens are into renewable energy. And they have a deactivated doomsday device that could destroy the entire planet. Don't know what for, but maybe those aliens aren't as nice as they seemed. Upon getting to the basement, I find this weird thing. When I press the button, the machine traps my hand and takes a blood sample, saying infected individuals can deactivate the platform. Wait a second, infected? I do an autoscan and the machine is right. I'm infected with an unknown disease. That's not ideal, but soon I'll be back home, and I sure will be able to heal then. The sunbeam is about to arise, so I go out through the alien's moon pool, scanning a warper on my way up. Ability to warp, device on its head, and no digestive tract. Are you sure those aren't the aliens? Anyway, I go up and wait for the sunbeam to land, but when it gets close, the building starts to move and points at the ship. Suddenly, it shoots a charge of the energy that demolishes the sunbeam, and I helplessly watch as my last means of escape is destroyed. While I make my way back home, I reflect on the events that happened until now, and it all makes sense. The building, gun, whatever it is, shot down the Tekasi, Aurora, and now Sunbeam, and it seems I'll only be able to deactivate it if I'm no longer infected by the mysterious disease the Selfscan showed. On my expeditions, I remember seeing all types of creatures from many different areas full of green growths on their skin, which I assumed was just a weird skin pattern or something natural. But now it makes much more sense. That's the disease the aliens were trying to fight, and considering how seriously they took quarantine, that must be why they are no longer here. They have been extinct by the disease. Thinking about it, that's probably the same sickness that killed the Degassi crew, and if that's the case, I have to find a cure soon, or else not only me, but all life on this planet will probably go extinct. There is no rescue coming. Now it's only me and this massive ocean. I'm no longer a survivor, but an explorer.